Thank you very much for coming to this talk, and thank you very much to the German Pavilion for inviting me to give this talk on modern medicines and what the future holds. Hi. So, I'd like you all to imagine a time back in the past, perhaps in Renaissance Italy, before the time of modern medicines. Perhaps you were having a picnic with your friends and then you were attacked by robbers. You were injured and there's some, injuries and blood on the floor. In the time before modern medicine, the most dangerous thing that could happen to you was to get an infection. In 1928, antibiotics were discovered by Alexander Fleming. And what's really remarkable about antibiotics and its impact on human health was that all of this happened within the span of about 20 years. So antibiotics can be used to treat infections. How about preventing diseases in the first place? For this, we have vaccines. And vaccines have really saved many human lives. So, how do vaccines work? Vaccines are usually made by taking the disease-causing organism, the actual infectious agent, for example, the virus or the bacteria, and damaging it in some way. For example, treating it with heat, treating it with chemicals. And this means that the infectious agent is no longer causing the disease. However, there's still enough of it for your immune system to recognize it for what it is. So I like to think of vaccines like a military briefing for your immune system. So you give your immune system this military briefing, then it knows how to recognize this oncoming danger and can mount defenses against it. Typically, vaccines take many years to develop, and in the past, pandemics would ravage the globe and many millions of people would die because vaccines simply couldn't be developed in time to deploy to the population. However, we've all just come out of a pandemic where it seemed really long at the time, but actually, on the global scale of things, it was quite short. Within 2 years, lockdowns were a thing of the past. And this is all because now all we needed to know was the genetic sequence of the SARS-CoV-2 virus, and then we could develop a vaccine, package it up into messenger RNA, and then deliver it to our system to give our immune system the military briefing that it needed. What is remarkable about today is that we have our understanding of molecular biology that was in the 1970s, our understanding of genetic engineering, which built on molecular biology, and this gave rise to the field of biotechnology. So with our knowledge of biotechnology, we can now engineer bacteria to become living factories to make fully human insulin. And this has really revolutionized our treatment of diabetes. So this is where we are right now in terms of the advancements in our medicines. What about the medicines of our future? So the medicines I've talked about just now have been inanimate substances. They're not really alive. The medicines of the future will be living therapies, cells, modified viruses, things that are technically alive.